While Melania Trump is folding as Donald Trump's dark past is surfacing. It is a tale we see repeated over and over again with these Trumps. They're weak and pathetic. They huff and they puff. They threaten billion-dollar lawsuits, but when you call their bluff, they fold. We saw Donald Trump do it with the lawsuit he filed against Michael Cohen. We saw Donald Trump do it recently with the lawsuit that he filed against the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch, where he demanded Murdoch's deposition and then pressed pause on that. And we see it with Melania. It was about a month ago where Melania sent a cease and desist letter to Hunter Biden. She said that I'm going to sue you, Hunter, for $1 billion if you don't issue a retraction and give me a public apology. Why? Because she said that you falsely are claiming, Hunter, in these interviews with a YouTube channel called Channel 5 News, you're falsely claiming, Hunter, that Jeffrey Epstein was the one who introduced me to Donald Trump in the late 1990s. False, says Melania. It was a guy named Paolo Zampoli who ran a modeling agency with young Eastern European women who brought me to the United States through events at a club called the Kit Kat Club in Manhattan, where the young Eastern European women would meet the wealthy Manhattan businessman. That's how I met Donald, through Zampoli, and then I got my Einstein visa secured, and I got expedited citizenship, and the rest is history. Do not mention that it was Epstein who made the introduction. Just ignore also all of the photos with Melania and Epstein and Donald Trump and Ghislaine together. Ignore that everybody knew each other. She said it was defamatory to even say that Epstein made the introduction between Melania and Donald Trump. And she said, apologize now, to which Hunter Biden said, go F yourself. I'm not apologizing to you. And then she goes, fine, then I'm going to sue you. Well, we're about a month since the threat. She has not filed a lawsuit against Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden said, oh, I can't wait to conduct discovery. I want to know all about your relationship with Epstein, about Ghislaine, about all the things that you know about Donald, because you're going to waive a lot of privileges if you sue me. So I am ready to go. Let's take discovery on all of those issues. And she has yet to file a lawsuit. Now, as I said, this is a pattern with the Trumps. And by the way, I'm going to show you some clips of Donald Trump saying things about Melania that I bet you haven't heard anywhere else, or at least for a very long time. But this is the pattern, right? You have Donald Trump threatening to sue Michael Cohen and then sues Michael Cohen for $500 million. Cohen was a host at the Midas Touch Network at the time. I know very well that lawsuit. And so what did Michael Cohen do right after Donald Trump filed the lawsuit for $500 million? Cohen said, okay, Bet, I want your deposition. I'm ready to take it. Let's see, let's go. Trump filed it in the Southern District of Florida. And Cohen's like, let's go. I'll do it in Florida. You pick the location. Trump said, I need more time. I need more time. I'll give you a little more time. Okay. But let's schedule it. Then Trump says, I need more time. I'll give you a little bit more time, but we're going to take your deposition in the next month. And then Trump's like, I need a little bit more time. I need a little bit more time. And then Trump's like, I'm not going to show. I'm campaigning. And then Cohen's like, you sued me. What do you mean you need more time? Cohen went to the federal judge. The federal judge ordered Donald Trump to have his deposition taken. Trump's like, I need a little bit more time. The federal judge said, okay, I'll give you a little bit more time. Then right before the deposition was set to take place, what did Donald Trump do? He dismissed the case. It's a pattern with these Trumps. If you stand up to them, if you confront them, they're just bullies. They huff it, but they're weak people, and they almost never have the facts on their side. Pretty much never. So then you had Donald Trump file the dismissal right there, October 5th, 2023. Donald Trump, by and through undersigned counsel, gives notice that pursuant to Rule 41A sub 1, he's voluntarily dismissing the action against Michael Cohen. Similarly, what just happened with Murdoch? Donald Trump sued the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch for $10 billion. $10 billion. Rupert Murdoch said, okay, well, I'm ready to take your deposition as well. Let's have your deposition. And then Donald Trump's like, I want your deposition, Rupert. Rupert's like, okay, you take my deposition. I take your deposition. Then what happened? Joint stipulation regarding plaintiff's motion to compel expedited deposition of Rupert Murdoch. And it says that Trump and the defendants all are agreeing with the following. Subject to the terms of the stipulation, together with a separately signed abatement agreement, which contains additional procedural details related to stipulation. Plaintiff, meaning Trump, agrees to abate his pending motion to compel the deposition of Rupert Murdoch until defendant Rupert Murdoch's motion to dismiss is adjudicated. The parties agree not to engage in discovery. That means that Murdoch doesn't take Trump's deposition, Trump doesn't take Murdoch's deposition, and obviously behind the scenes, Trump lawyers are trying to work out something with Murdoch's lawyers in order to make this all go away. I predicted early on, like literally the day it happened, that I thought that, this lawsuit is about the birthday card that the Wall Street Journal said that Donald Trump sent Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday in the early 2000s. And Donald Trump's like, I never sent that. No way I ever sent that. That's defamatory. I'm suing you, Wall Street Journal. Well, a few things. I always believe that the source of that leak was Ghislaine Maxwell in order to get Donald Trump's attention to then move her from the Tallahassee facility to Bryan, Texas. I thought it was a warning shot from her camp that we have this and we know more, and she executed that plan. Go back, I said it that day. But also, we know that book is in the possession of the Epstein estate, and we know Congress is gonna get that book soon, and we're gonna see it. So we're gonna see Donald Trump's handwriting on it. We're gonna see the card. We'll likely see Trump's name all over. And one of the things they also said is that, Donald, you're out there saying Epstein's a great guy who liked women on the younger side. Mar-a-Lago was used as the grounds for child sex trafficking. I mean, you had Virginia Giuffre, underage. I mean, a child was found at Mar-a-Lago, as you say, stolen. So now you can argue you didn't know what was happening at Mar-a-Lago, but it's undisputed that Mar-a-Lago was used in some part of Epstein's sex trafficking scheme. Virginia Giuffre worked for you. That's how she worked at the spa. What was she doing? What was this little girl doing working at the spa in the first place? And then Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell recruited her for sex trafficking from Mar-a-Lago. And then, of course, there were the parties you had with Epstein where you brought over 30 girls of indeterminate age as people who brought those girls there alleged from beauty pageants and said that you were going to get in VIP modeling contracts, but it was just you and Epstein there. I mean, so you think of all of the things that are defamatory is the birthday card, which never made sense. They're just a bunch of freaking bullies. And when you push back, they fold. So here was Hunter Biden saying, look, Melania, go sue me. I'm ready. I want that discovery. You stood up to her and she's back down. Here, play this clip.
The matter is that, I don't think that these threats of a lawsuit are add up to anything other than a design distraction, because it's not about who introduced whom to who. I don't know how that's in any way rises to the level of defamation to begin with. But the fact of the matter is that this is about hundreds, if not over 1,000 minors, children who were raped by Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't believe in guilt by association alone, but the connections have become, they're so glaringly obvious that I think they're trying to use other things to distract. And I also think they're bullies, and they think that $1 billion is going to scare me, which is, the fact of the matter is that if they'd like to go, I have this to say to them, if they want to sit down for a deposition and clarify the nature of the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein, if the president and the first lady want to do that, and all of the known associates around them at the time of whatever time that they met, I'm more than happy to provide them the platform to be able to do it.
Now, contrast that with you have James Carville and the Daily Beast. They issued apologies to her. She then posted those apologies, and they were apologizing for saying that Michael Wolff had said that that Epstein was the one who introduced them. Melania denies that. She says it's Paolo Zampoli. It's totally false that Epstein made the introduction. I'm a litigator. In my opinion, I'm not even sure why that would be a defamatory statement to people introducing somebody, that they didn't say anything more than an introduction was made. So it was Zampoli versus this person. So explain to me the defamation there. I mean, you're in photos with Epstein and Trump, and there's other things as well. Let me get to the other things too. Like Donald Trump, when he went on Howard Stern, he put Melania on the phone with Howard Stern and they talked about Melania being almost naked, inviting Howard Stern over, as Howard Stern said that he's taking his pants off. This is how Donald Trump treated Melania. They're like, what's her name? Something like Melania. This is how he treated her in 1999. This is the type of guy he is. Here, play this clip.
President Donald Trump is on the phone. My theory is that Donald is really not running for president.
I think he's just promoting a book.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do that, Commissioner. Donald.
Hi, Howard.
How are you?
But I am having a good time.
Mr. President.
Well, you have to endorse me, Howard.
Yes, sure, I'll endorse you. What else have I got to do?
Tell you what, this country won't be ripped off anymore, Howard.
I know you'll get a good deal.
We'll get good deals.
You guys are great businessmen.
Oh, yeah.
You got
Lots of good deals and lots of lower taxes.
Let me talk to that broad in your bed.
I could almost have her talk to you.
You could? Let me just
Actually, she's outside in another room listening to this.
What is she doing next? What is she wearing?
I don't know. Maybe I should get her in. Do you want me to get her in?
Yeah, let me talk to her for a second. Let me talk to her. What's her name again?
Now, Howard Stern then said in another interview with Donald Trump, let me give you a hypothetical. Would you stay with Melania if she was in a car accident and she lost her left arm and she was paralyzed? To which Trump said, I need to know what her breasts were like. If I was going to stay with her, what do her breasts look like after being in the car accident? Here, play this clip.
I'm going to give you a hypothetical.
Go ahead.
Melania is in a horrible car accident. Her body is fine except for the fact that her left arm is paralyzed now. It's useless.
Okay.
It hangs there like a slab of meat.
Right. How do the breasts look?
The breasts are okay.
Okay, well, that's important.
So that's out there. I mean, imagine what discovery of Melania would look like. Like, I want you all to remember this too, because we covered this here on the Midas Touch Network, and it wasn't really covered anywhere else. When Donald Trump would give speeches at high schools during the campaign, he would talk about how he would bring up to Melania getting urinated on, getting peed on by hookers, and saying, I never did that, Trump says. He says that he's not into golden showers, and any rumor that he gets peed on by hookers and gets urinated on is false because he doesn't like germs. And he said, Melania can vouch for me. I don't like that. Okay, you're bringing Melania into this, and you said this at a high school. This was at a high school, this speech. Here, play this clip.
He was with 4 hookers. You think that was good that night to go up and tell my wife, it's not true, darling, I love you very much? It's not true. Actually, that one she didn't believe because she said he's a germaphobe. He's not into that, you know? He's not into golden showers, as they say they call them. He's not. I don't like that idea. No, I didn't. I thought that would be a big problem. I was going to have a rough night, but that one she was very good on, she said. No.
And then finally, a recent clip as well, where Michael Wolff talks about how Donald Trump and Epstein, this is what he learned, this is Wolff's reporting, that before Melania, kind of not right before Melania, but before Melania, Trump and Epstein shared a girlfriend together. They would have this girlfriend, they would send her to one house, then back and forth. Not clear what the age was, but they would send a girlfriend back and forth who they were both with at the same time. So what Wolff says, here, play this clip.
By her absence is that of Melania, that often men caught up in situations like this have a wife who's loyally standing by their side.
Well,
Melania is nowhere to be seen. Ivanka is nowhere to be seen. This must be a horrifying story for them.
Okay, well, two points. She never is by his side. You know, all of those courtroom appearances, did she show up once? I report in my book that one of the aides approached her and she said, "Nice try," and then laughed. And this is probably for further food. She was very involved in this Epstein relationship. I mean, there is this model thing, but and Epstein talks about and she's introduced by a model agent, both of whom Trump and Epstein are involved with. She's introduced to Trump that way. Epstein knows her well. Epstein says the first time Donald Trump and Melania have sex.
If Melania, Trump, if they have the goods, let them sit and discover. It's what really pissed me off about all these corporate news folding. Take Trump's deposition. I mean, imagine what the George Stephanopoulos deposition would be like, where Donald Trump sued Stephanopoulos and ABC because Donald Trump said, I was only found liable for sexual assault, not rape, is what Donald Trump said. So you're defaming me, you're harming my reputation, Trump said, by Stephanopoulos saying that what took place at Bergdorf Goodman was rape versus was digital penetration, sexual assault with a finger versus a penis. So what would that deposition be like? So you're arguing that you think that it's okay to engage in sexual assault with your finger, like that didn't harm your reputation, but it harmed your reputation to imply it was a genital? I mean, that was Trump's case basically when he sued Stephanopoulos, and Stephanopoulos and ABC fold, CBS folds in their loss. Take the guy's deposition, put him in front of you, ask him questions the way we saw E. Jean Carroll's lawyer do. Trump can't stand that. And you'll get out the truth and in a critical moment. So to me, even worse than those corporate news sycophants, bootlickers settling, like even worse was that you didn't even take his deposition when you had the opportunity to push back at a time when Americans would have benefited from that. That's why if he ever comes for us, day one, deposition.